10,000 of you signed up in 48 hours. And that's testament to two things. First, that an app like TikTok is so empowering to everyday people, because where else could you so quickly recruit a large group of people and mobilize those people behind an idea? I don't know of anywhere else where that happens, and it is so important that we don't lose that functionality. The other thing that all the signups prove is how hungry the collective is for an app like this. And what we are talking about is a collectively owned social media app. And before you go saying that there are other people out there building these things, we're not talking about the same thing. And I will explain why. But first, imagine everything you love about TikTok, okay? The entertainment factor, connecting with interesting personalities, the brain rot, the trends. You must bounce on it. Crazy style. But underneath that, having it built by the people, for the people, with the people, literally a vehicle for grassroots societal change. So what does that look like? It looks like building this app with the transition to Web3 in mind, knowing that that shift in our technology is going to happen, thinking about that now so that when it comes, this app becomes self-governing, and people who start off leading the charge like me, we become obsolete and just meld back into the collective. It looks like folding in trade and micro economies to champion small and local business. It looks like having inbuilt, very intentional functionality for mobilizing, for organizing groups of people. Because the way that we've done this to date is, you have a viral video there, you have some hashtags there, and suddenly everyone is ignoring Kim Kardashian. Cool, great, kind of funny. But how much more effective would that be if there were tools in the app to make it easy for people to organize behind an idea, behind a movement? And the Kim Kardashian is a silly example, but this is actually super powerful. And I'll just give one example today, which is that if you got enough musicians on board with this, you could introduce a streaming component to the platform. And you could pay those musicians fairly. And if you got enough people deciding to stream their music from this platform that pays artists fairly, it would mess with the monopolies of Spotify and all the others who do not want to pay and play fairly with artists. So I can say that this is different than the dozen other apps all gunning to be the next TikTok, but some people are not going to fully understand that until they see it and, more importantly, experience it. Because startups have historically been built behind closed doors. It's usually a small team and they're like, this is our thing, and maybe we'll let you in for beta testing. And there's a place for that. And it is how it has always been done. But for an app like this, in the spirit of the system, we are going to build this together. We are going to do it publicly, and we are going to do it collectively. So if you've never built a business, you're going to learn how. It's going to be fun. And it's a little different, again, than these things are traditionally done, because if the momentum stays, there could be thousands of people working on this. And then the question is, how do you organize that many people? In the comments, a lot of people had said Discord, and I love Discord. I think it's a very useful tool. But when it comes to organizing large groups of people and having a two-way dialogue, meaning I'm not just giving you updates, it's not just me speaking to you, but this is idea brainstorming and sharing, Discord gets very disorganized and chaotic. And so we're going to use that for something else. All of the brainstorming and the problem solving and the debate is going to happen on Reddit, because for a few reasons. One, Reddit is a public forum, so anyone can join. Two, it has the comments that are threaded, which means it gives structure to the conversations that we're having. It's just going to keep us more organized, especially because it has that upvoting and downvoting feature, which means the ideas that people are most excited about, the things that people want, those are going to rise to the top. And so that's going to be really helpful for getting our direction, for deciding on how we are going to build this, and then break out into specialized task teams on Discord. So let me give two examples of this, and these are in the newsletter too. So first is Ali M reached out and he suggested that we avoid AWS, so cloud technical stuff. It would be too easy to rely on Amazon. We're going to avoid the technical terms today, and we don't necessarily want to support Bezos. It can be difficult to build something like this without supporting Bezos, but there are ways to do it, and it involves potentially partnering with independent ethical providers. And so what we would need then, if that's the direction we decide to go, we need people who specialize in cloud infrastructure, and they become their own specialized task team, and they go out into the world and they try to find and vet those partners. Natalie T reached out, and she is a lawyer who suggested that the app's legal structure should be completely transparent to users from the beginning and immutable, meaning we make it impossible to later change it to enable profiteering or a sellout. And so then we would have a collective of lawyers and legal enthusiasts that assemble to design and review a framework that upholds that vision. And so that's the interplay between Reddit and Discord. And then it's Substack and YouTube, kind of a hybrid combination of the writing and the video, because let's be real, some of our attention spans are absolutely cooked and not everyone is going to read a long newsletter. And so I'll always try to do a video as well. But this is to keep us all aligned. And anytime there are major updates, anytime there is a development, I will wrap it up into our communication and send it out. And so you can think of it like Reddit is our sandbox, Discord is our toolkit, and Substack and YouTube are like our compass. So if all that sounds good, head over to Reddit, the subreddit /Clearlight Studios. And the only reason I didn't call it People Talk is because we can't change the name later. And I think that we're going to vote on a name. We may also run into some copyright issues if we have talk in the name. I don't know. That's a question for our legal friends. So I just named it something that I think will serve us going forward. And we can figure out the name of the app as we go. So get started by heading over there. Create your account. There's no real rules at the moment other than like, please be respectful, please be constructive, and keep it on topic as best you can. As we go, we may establish more rules, moderators will emerge, that kind of thing. But for now, if you would just share what's top of mind for you. And I posted the first thread. It's essentially that. It's what is the most important thing to you that we get right with this app. And as we've already seen with a legal person versus a technical person, everyone is going to be thinking about different aspects of this, and different people are going to have different pieces of the puzzle. So please come, share your ideas, and I am really excited and grateful to have you on board.